Okay, well, hi everyone, welcome. It's so good to see so many faces popping in. My name is Yas Hardaway, and I'm the Executive Director of Career Services at GSEP, and it's my honor to welcome all of you to the second installment of the Spring 2024 JAMI Career Connect series. Our topic for this month is to doctorate or Notorate, and when to go for it. And I've been so excited to say that all day. This event is a partnership between our GSEP Career Services and our Alumni Relations teams. For those of you who are new to our JAMI Communities of Practice programs, you may be wondering, what is JAMI? JAMI is a Swahili term for community, and our JAMI Communities of Practice programs are designed to provide up-to-date labor market information in the fields of education and psychology, and to also connect you to a larger Pepperdine network. So let's talk about what we hope that you will gain from our session today. We hope that you will gain clarity about the next step in your career planning. We hope that you will gain confidence in your ability to successfully move toward your next career objective. And we'll hope that you have the opportunity to really connect with industry professionals from the Pepperdine community. At GSEP Career Services, our vision is that every graduate would have the clarity, confidence, and community to be able to access, thrive in, and transform the future workplace. So just some logistics before we get started. My colleague Franya will put in the chat a link to our JAMI Career Connect participant drive. And in the drive, you'll find a folder for each of our sessions. And in those folder, you'll find our speaker lineup, so you can read the bios of all the panelists. And then eventually there will be the recording of the introduction. So we won't be recording the breakout sessions, but we will be recording the introduction so that you can refer back to those later. Okay, our format for today. So we will start by first introducing our moderator, which is our Director of Alumni Relations, Dr. Renee Dorn, and she will introduce our speakers and invite them to share a little bit about themselves before we get into breakouts. So you'll have an opportunity to go to 2 breakouts if you choose to. Each breakout will be about 15 minutes. And you will have the opportunity to choose your own adventure. So after you hear the speaker introductions, you can choose which breakout room to go into. And about halfway through, I'll invite you to switch rooms if you'd like to hear another perspective. And then after our second breakout, we'll come back together and we'll share some resources that we think will be helpful for you on your career journey, as well as talk to you a little bit about what's next for our JAMI Career Connect series. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Renee Dorn. Dr. Dorn.
Thank you so much, Yaz. You know, I am always so excited when we have alumni participate in our JAMI sessions. But this time, because this topic is so popular, we have 8 GSEP alums who are participating in today's session. And the combination of degrees that our alums have span the programs that we have within GSEP. So at this time, let's get started so that we could get ready to go into those breakout rooms so you can meet them and ask them some questions. So our first alum that I'd like to introduce is Annie Haswerton. Hi, Annie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Annie Hasratian. I completed my master's in psychology from Pepperdine GSEP in 2013, and I obtained my PhD in clinical psychology from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. Currently, I'm completing my postdoctoral fellowship at the Sepulveda VA, specializing in trauma and substance use disorders. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for being with us. Now, if you have any questions for Dr. Hasratian, please go into her breakout room. Once again, she has her master's in psychology and her PhD. So if you have any questions regarding those 2 topics, please join her in the breakout room. So thank you so much. Our next alum is Elon Javanfard. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us about your background, your degrees, and what you're currently doing.
Of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Elon Javanfard. I graduated from GSEP in the master's program with a degree towards an MFT in 2013. I had the opportunity to get my doctorate. I got into a doctoral program and I deferred and I never ended up going back. So that's part of what I can discuss as well. I live in Los Angeles County and I work at D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services, which is a large nonprofit mental health organization in LA, and I oversee all of the crisis, residential, intake, and substance services. I'm also an adjunct faculty member in the online learning program. And lastly, I work as a clinical advisor for an artificial intelligence company that is putting together AI to help support therapeutic tools.
You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, Elon. And if any of you are very interested in hearing more about what Elon does and about his master's in clinical psychology, please join him in his breakout room. Thank you, Elon. Thank you. Next, we have Eric Caston. Thank you for joining us, Eric. Welcome.
Thank you all. My name is Eric Caston. I'm a licensed marriage family therapist and board certified behavior analyst. I'm an alumni from Pepperdine University in the GSEP Master's in Clinical Psychology program. My daughter is also attending that exact program now, so I'm a dad of a student. Currently, I'm the director of behavioral counseling services for Mission Behavioral Health. It's a startup. We are an IOP program for transitional houses in low-income neighborhoods. So we bring in programming and mental health services, MAT services, a whole bunch of stuff for people coming out of the court system and so forth. I've been director of a bunch of different agencies. After my master's at Pepperdine, I went on and did some postmaster classes in applied behavioral analysis and got my BCBA. So I've had a career kind of all over the place. I also have a private practice. So I'll talk to you about kind of how I see things and what I wish I would have done differently, or what I suggest my daughter does. She's now at the same career point as many of you guys. So I have a lot of different things in a lot of different places.
See, now that's a lot of information that anyone would love to get more knowledge about from Eric. So if any of you are interested in hearing more about what Eric does and hearing his points of view, please join him in his breakout room. All right. Thank you so much, Eric. Next, we have a double alum from our MA in Psychology program and EDD program, Organizational Leadership. So we have Dr. Margaret Moodian. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. My name is Margaret Moodian. I graduated from the Master's in Psychology program in 2008, and then I graduated from the Organizational Leadership Doctoral program in 2011. I currently teach full-time at the University of Massachusetts online campus. I teach in the competency-based education program, which is learning at your own pace. And so we've been a leader in that realm for 10 years now. I'm also a community leader. I serve on several nonprofit and other boards. I sit on a Waldorf-inspired charter school called Journey School. It is a nonprofit that provides people with disabilities paddling opportunities. So those are just some of the things that I do, and I look forward to sharing with you how my degrees have helped me live a fuller life.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Moodian. Now, if anyone is interested in hearing more about what Dr. Moodian does, please join her in her breakout room. All right. Thank you so much. Next, we have another double alum from our Master's in Psychology program and our PsyD program. And this is Dr. Katya Naman. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for this great introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Katya Naman, and psychology was my second career. I had an MBA first and was in commercial real estate for 23 years, where I was a senior vice president when I left it all behind. I had over 200 people reporting to me and decided to start a master's program at Pepperdine. And I've never looked back. I then went on to get my PsyD. I am currently a clinical neuropsychologist and the training director for the internship program and the neuropsychology residency or postdoctoral program at the Bay Pines VA in St. Petersburg, Florida. I did do my internship at the Sepulveda VA and lots of practica around the LA area that I can also speak to. Nice to meet you all, and I look for, if you're interested, join me in the breakout room.
Absolutely. And one thing I just want to mention, many times we have had potential, prospective students and current students ask us about change of career. And so since you mentioned that you did have a change of career, if you are very interested in hearing more about that, please join Dr. Naman in her breakout room. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And then next we have another alum. Now he's a GSEP alum from the EDOL program, but he also has his PhD. And this is Dr. Kurt Takamine. Welcome, Dr. Takamine. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Dr. Dorn, and you did a great job pronouncing my last name. For those of you who are going to come to my session, just call me Kurt. That's fine. Even my mother-in-law said, "You're not really a doctor." So anyway, we have issues there. But I thank you for the invite. I think I've had just the great opportunity of being at the ED program, and at that time it was called institutional management. So you have to go back a few decades to figure that out. Now it's organizational leadership, which I much prefer. And it was such a great experience. We have a great reputation from Pepperdine alums at Chapman University, as Dr. Moodian is part of that, and her husband as well. And people look to Pepperdine as producing awesome academicians and administrators. So I've had the administration track as well as being a professor. And so if you want to know about being a chair, being a dean, being a chief academic officer and all that, I'm happy to share those experiences with you, as well as being a full professor. So look forward to talking with you, and thanks again for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. And one other thing, we also get a lot of questions of whether someone should go into the EDD program or a PhD program. And Kurt will be able to definitely tell you about the differences between the two. So if you're interested in what he has to say, please go into his breakout room. So thank you so much. Next, we have a GSEP alum and a current doctoral student, and that is Ms. Desiree Terrell. Welcome, Desiree.
Thank you, Dr. Dorn. Hi, everyone. I'm Desiree Terrell. I graduated from the Master's in Leadership and Higher Education program here at Pepperdine, and I'm currently a doctoral student in the EDOL program, Organizational Leadership, in my second semester, and I am working at Cal State Dominguez Hills as a department coordinator, as well as a research assistant for a faculty at GSEP. So I'm excited to share my perspective as someone who went from the master's program straight into the doctoral program and is kind of contemplating a career pivot. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Happy to be here.
wonderful. That's wonderful. We're always getting questions about what it's like being in a doctoral program, and you have firsthand knowledge since you're currently in the doctoral program. So if you want to hear more from Desiree, please join her in her breakout room. So thank you so much for joining us. And then last but not least, we have another double alum, and she is a graduate of our Master's in Psychology program, as well as our PsyD program. So welcome, Dr. Melissa Wasserman. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Dorn. So I am an assistant professor at GSEP, and as part of my faculty appointment, I teach primarily assessment-related classes in both the doctoral program, the PsyD program, and the master's programs as well. I also co-direct the Union Rescue Mission Pepperdine Teaching Training Clinic, which is located at a faith-based mission out on Skid Row. Most of my scholarly activities surrounds trauma, risk, and resilience, looking at intergenerational trauma and Holocaust survivors, but I also do a lot of work with military and veteran behavioral health as well. I'm also a clinical psychologist in the Los Angeles area. I primarily work with individuals, couples, families who've experienced trauma.
Thank you so much for joining us. And for those who may want to get a perspective as to what to expect in some of the classes, Dr. Wasserman will definitely be able to help you with that, as well as give you her personal experiences being in these programs. So if you're interested in hearing more of what Dr. Wasserman has to say, please join her in her breakout room. And remember, you have an opportunity to attend 2 different breakout rooms. After the first one, you'll have a chance to switch to a second one. So please take that chance to at least experience hearing different speakers and what they have to say. At this time, we're going to go ahead and open the breakout rooms, and I think you'll be able to join the ones that you are interested in. So I'm passing this on to Frania.
Thank you, Dr. Dorn. I'll just step in to share a few reminders. So let me go ahead and do that now. So as Dr. Dorn shared, you'll have an opportunity to go to at least one of the breakout rooms. My colleague Frania has put the speaker lineup in the chat, so you can read the bios of all the speakers that are here today, and you can choose your own adventure. If you are unable to place yourself in a breakout room, you'll just stay in the main room, and Frania and I will put you into your breakout room of choice. We do encourage you to keep your cameras on if possible, because it's an opportunity to connect with the speakers and with one another. And also just a reminder to please share the space with others so that those who are in the room also have an opportunity to ask questions as well. And it would probably be helpful to use the raise hand feature so that we can take turns in asking questions. So Frania has also put a sample list of questions in the chat if it's helpful for you, but you can certainly choose and ask your own questions as well. So without further ado, Frania, are we ready to open up the breakouts?
Yes, it's open.
Okay, great. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. I know the time was short, but hopefully you had an opportunity to ask a couple questions or just hear some additional perspective as you are thinking about your own next step. So thank you again to the speakers for taking time out of their busy schedule to share their wisdom and experiences with us today. They have volunteered their time to be here, and we always love hearing from our alumni. So thank you all again for being here. Some of you had questions regarding applying to doctoral programs, and so we wanted to invite our enrollment officer, Katrina Blanchard, to share a little bit about how you can learn more about GSEP's programs. Katrina?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So I am Katrina, and I am an enrollment officer with GSEP. What I normally help oversee is our master's levels programs, so master's in education. And as you know, many of those master's programs lead quite eloquently into our doctoral programs. For many of our master's levels programs, there's actually up to 6 or even 9 credits that you can transfer over to the doctoral program. So those are classes that you don't have to take. You get credit for them at the master's level at the master's tuition cost, which is great. But if you're joining us and you weren't part of our master's program, or you're thinking about joining just the doctoral program, we have a lot of resources for that too. I think they're going to put my information in the chat, as well as the information for my complement, Inva. Inva Lumi, she takes care of our doctoral level programs. So Inva will be an amazing touch point for you. She'll walk you through the process, answer any questions you might have about research, the application, funding. Our doctoral programs do have an interview as part of the admissions process, but I think that that's actually a really good forum to ask questions during, till you have that interview. It's a group interview, so it's not just you, but there are other people who are potentially your classmates. There are professors there. And so you guys can have an open conversation about what you're looking for, how Pepperdine can help you, and just what we provide as far as support and guidance, the structure of our program. So feel free to reach out to me or to Inva. We'd be happy to guide you through that process. And thank you so much for this time. I really appreciate it, Yas.
Thank you, Katrina. So now we're going to transition to share some resources that we think might be helpful for all of you. And so I'm going to invite my friend Danny Leonard from RAMP to share a little bit more about a partnership that we have. And let me just put that up here so you have a visual before I turn it over to Danny. So RAMP is an AI-powered platform that will support you in all aspects of your career exploration and job search process. And I cannot sing its praises enough. It is so helpful in the job search process, and the tools are very cool, cutting edge, and the platform I have found to be really easy to navigate. So I'm going to turn it over to Danny so he can share a little more, but I encourage all of you to sign in. It's free for our Pepperdine community to sign in to check it out. Danny?
All right. Hey, everybody. I am Danny. Thanks, Yas, for that great intro. And I'm one of the founders of Ramped. And Ramped, like Yas said, we are a platform and our sole mission is to fix the job search. And the reason we're focusing on this problem is because if you went up to 10 people on the streets and asked them how their most recent job search was, 11 of them would tell you it was the worst thing ever. No one likes the job search. It hasn't changed in 50, maybe even 100 years. The resume has technically been around since the 1400s, and we're out to make it really easy for job seekers to save meaningful time, energy, effort, and really emotional well-being during the job search. We talk to thousands of job seekers every month. They tell us the same things. It's really hard right now. They're not finding satisfaction in their search. It's impacting from, their regular day-to-day all the way to fundamental things like their confidence. So when we built the platform, and I'm going to show off a few of our tools right now. When we built the platform, what we had in mind is let's make it really, really easy for job seekers to skip the grunt work steps of the job search today and win back quality time. Ideally, the main benefit that you will get as a job seeker or potential job seeker is you will find during the job search, you have hours back in your life and ultimately an easier path to interviews. So let's jump in. This is our partnership page. And yes, it is free for all Pepperdine students. You click in and you'll be welcome to this beautiful dashboard. And the dashboard has a bunch of tools in it. All of our tools are AI based, but AI is kind of buzzwordy these days. Really what it means is we're trying to just save you steps where steps can be saved. So I'll show off one of our tools, which we really love, our cover letter writer. So all you have to do is enter in a few things, your first name, the company that you're going to work at, the job title that you want. So I did instructional designer for this crew, and then enter in the job description. You just copy it straight from the website, and you can very quickly, in a few steps, maybe a few less steps, some character limits, but in a few clicks, you can generate a beautiful cover letter that you can copy and paste and then edit in a document or download directly from our site. And it is written with a few things in mind. It's written with the applicant tracking system in mind. So we want cover letters to get through the applicant tracking system relatively easily. And then it is also form fit for one page. So we heard when we've interviewed tens of thousands of hiring managers and talent acquisition associates, and they tell us that the cover letter is the ultimate check the box. What that means is about 75% of them go unread on the talent acquisition side. So what that means for you as a job seeker is when you're carefully editing and structuring your cover letters, some people have told us to take them an hour per. And right now the average job search is taking about 150 applications to one job. So that's a meaningful amount of time. We've shrunk this obviously into like 15, 30 seconds, a meaningful amount of time that you're getting back at the ultimate check the box step. And another tool that I want to show you really quickly is our resume writer. So this has made significant improvements since I last showed it off, but effectively what you can do is upload your resume as is today. We'll put it in the format that fits the best for the applicant tracking systems of the world today. So we bounce them off applicant tracking systems in real time. We are always getting insights in what works and what doesn't work. So it's the most up to date. And then you can really quickly, in a few clicks, use your summary, or if you want us to generate a resume summary for you, we'll suggest them in real time based on what you've already given to our system. So your profile will dictate it, what jobs you want, where you're going in your career, etc. And we'll happily suggest ones with AI. So again, you're saving yourself time throughout this job search. And then the last thing I'll share is our Chrome extension, and this is an auto apply extension. And what this does is if you were to just go on and look at a website, and you're presented this long and arduous application, sometimes with some custom asks, you can now save yourself a lot of time with just one click, clicking autofill, and it will pull in all of the information from, might be bugging out. No, maybe not. So pulling your information into the form. Okay, maybe yes. We just relaunched our latest edition. So what it does is it pulls in all the information into the form, and in a few seconds it will upload everything you put into your resume. And for the custom questions like why do you want to work here, we will suggest automatically a response for you to look at and edit. So now you've saved yourself meaningful time through the application part. We've timed ourselves, and we've worked with a QA team who has also submitted to us that an average application takes about 5 to 15 minutes. The fastest anybody has ever done it on our time trials is 2.5 minutes. So even on that case, you're saving yourself a ton of energy on the application front. So that's Ramped. We're excited about our partnership. We're continuing to build every day, and the feedback that we've gotten from Pepperdine students and alum and job seekers has been super, super helpful as we go and continue to innovate on the job search.
Great. Thank you so much, Danny. And I highly encourage you to check this out. Just log in and play around with it a bit, and you can use it with all aspects of your career exploration and job search. Danny just gave you a sample. It was a teaser. There's a lot more to the site as well too, and they're continuing to improve it. So I encourage you to check it out. It's free. All right, now I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Usman Khan, just to share a little bit about our commitment to DEIB and a few resources that might be helpful as we connect to today's topic. Usman?
Thank you, Yas. Hi, everyone. Usman here from Career Services. Our vision, as we shared earlier at Career Services, is that every graduate will have the clarity, confidence, and community to access, thrive, and transform the future workplace. That's part of our diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging efforts here. Our team is committed to ensuring that you, including all our students and alumni, have access to our resources and services from an equitable lens, and to foster a sense of belonging and community for each of you while being able to honor each of your diverse backgrounds and identities. And some of our resources we're sharing today, the first one we've highlighted here is recruitment practices that graduate programs can focus on from a lens of DEIB to build access and equity for students. Some examples would be considering developing peer mentorship programs, providing access to faculty in open discussion forums, and also establishing travel grants for students to have them an opportunity to attend and present at professional development events and conferences. We also have highlighted APADS. APADS is the Association of Pan-African Doctoral Scholars, which is the professional organization that provides mentoring and fosters professional development for Pan-African students and scholars, as well as all doctoral students. And then we also have a podcast featuring community stories and voices to support women and persons of color in grad school. So we hope that you explore these resources and look into these different things we're sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Usman. And now we'd love to hear how the session was for you today. So my colleague Franya will put the event survey in the chat. So if you are on Handshake, you have access to the survey, and we will do an opportunity drawing for Amazon gift card among those who submit their survey responses. And this is how we get the topics for future GME programs. This is how we tweak the programs, is based on your feedback. So if you can just take a few moments, your perspectives are really important to us, and they inform our programming. Okay, so you may be wondering what's next. Our last GME Career Connect for spring is on April 3rd, GSEP on the red carpet. So applying your education or psychology degree in entertainment. So this will be a great opportunity to hear from alumni who are doing just that. So my colleague Franya will put the registration links for students as well as our alumni and community members in the chat so that you can go ahead and register today. Now I'll turn it over to my colleague Sophia, and we just have a one additional slide. So hang tight if you're able to. Sophia?
Yes. If you want to know about more events such as this one, you can go ahead and follow us on all of our social media. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we also have an alumni LinkedIn group where our alumni of the program, of the different programs, can connect with one another. At this time, I also want to invite you all to put up well, not right now. I think y'all's the next slide is the emoji, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So yes. So right now we're gonna take a Zoom group photo. So I'll count to 3 and you can put up your favorite emojis so we can all take a selfie together. So 1, 2, 3.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here today. It was just so great to see so many people interested in learning more. And we wish you the best as you consider your next step. And just know that the GSEP Career Services team is available to support both students and alumni. So if you're trying to determine if the doctoral pathway is right for you, and if so, which one, we encourage you to make an appointment through Handshake with GSEP Career Services, and we can help, we can walk alongside you in that decision-making process. So Franya will go ahead and put our, what do you call it? Email, sorry, in the chat so that you can learn more. Thanks everyone for being here today.